How does best ball fantasy football actually work? Imagine building a team at the start of the season and then just sitting back while the game takes care of the rest. That's what best ball fantasy football is all about. It's a draft-only format where you pick your entire roster before the season begins. Once the draft is over, you don't make any trades, pickups, or set lineups each week. Instead, the system automatically chooses your highest scoring players for every game week. The draft is usually a snake style, meaning the order reverses each round, and it can last many rounds, sometimes over 20, to build a deep roster. This depth is key because you can't swap players during the season. You need enough backups to cover injuries, bye weeks, or players who underperform. Your roster typically includes quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, and sometimes kickers and defenses, depending on your league rules. Throughout the season, your team's weekly score is calculated by the system selecting the best possible lineup from your roster. For example, if you have multiple running backs and wide receivers, the system will pick the top two at each position based on their weekly points. It also fills other positions like quarterback and tight end with the highest scorers. This means you don't have to worry about setting lineups or making decisions. Your team is always optimized for the best possible score. Scoring is based on standard or customized rules, but the main goal is to accumulate the most total points over the entire NFL season, which usually lasts 17 weeks. Unlike traditional leagues, best ball leagues often don't have head-to-head matchups or playoffs. Instead, the focus is on total points scored across the season. League sizes can vary a lot. Some are small with 10 or 12 teams, while others are huge tournaments with hundreds or even thousands of players. In big tournaments, teams often compete in initial groups and advance based on their total points. From a strategic point of view, drafting in best ball means you need to think ahead. Because you can't make roster moves later, it's smart to draft multiple players at each position. For example, having 2 or 3 quarterbacks ensures you're covered if one gets injured or has a bye week. Running backs and wide receivers usually make up most of your roster because they score the most points and have the most week-to-week variability. Tight ends are also important but are often drafted in smaller numbers. In short, best ball fantasy football simplifies the season. It removes the weekly hassle of managing lineups and transactions. Instead, it rewards good drafting and having enough depth to maximize your weekly scores automatically. If you enjoy the draft process and want a more laid-back experience during the NFL season, best ball leagues are a great way to go.